Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. So as you can tell from Tyler's video, I have decided to be ranking fitness influencers physiques. I'm going to be ranking these physiques based on how well they would do on the bodybuilding stage, based on how good their muscle insertions are. I'm not going to be giving any biased opinions on this list. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to be ranking them in this order. It will basically go from D tier to S tier. I'm going to be ranking all these fitness influencers based on those categories on the screen right now. Now, there are a lot of fitness influencers in the industry right now, so if I try to rank every single influencer's physique, this video would be very, very long. So I've only decided to go with 10 of the best influencers in the industry right now. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so first on the list, we have got Lex Eubank. I'm going to be ranking his physique based on how well he would do on the bodybuilding stage, based on his muscle insertions, and based on how he looks overall. I will then come to conclusion and will decide where to put him once I've done ranking him. So with that being said, let's go check out his physique and let's see what this guy's all about. Alright, so one thing I really like about Lex Eubank's physique is his shoulders. Now, his shoulders really do pop. It really does look nice. Like, for me personally, I believe his shoulders are like his strongest body part, because getting those sort of striations and that sort of detail on your shoulders, even being enhanced, is like really hard. Even mine, Alex, is natural, so for him to have doubts like that is very, very impressive. Now, Lex Eubank definitely has a very proportional physique. You know, everything, he's like literally the god of symmetry right now in the industry. Like, I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm a Lex Eubank fanboy. This ranking is not going to be biased at all. He definitely has a great physique. Everything's in proportion. His symmetry is great. One thing I do kind of feel like he needs to work on his physique is like putting some more size on his legs. He's got really good back as well. I just feel like he needs to kind of bring up the size on his legs a little bit more. His insertions are very good as well. He's got very good, like, you know, low bicep insertions, low chest insertions, low lat insertions. Like, he's got very, very nice insertions. He's quite full looking as well. In terms of how he do on bodybuilding, I feel like pretty good in men's physique. I just feel like his size not quite there. So in terms of his overall physique, Alex definitely has a great physique. So I would definitely put Alex in, I'll put Alex in A tier. He's not quite S tier, but he's definitely A tier. So his physique is like really, really good, but it's not quite legendary. Like, it's not, you know, not as good as some of the top guys in the industry right now. With that being said, the next person is Andre Dio. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but it's Andre. He has a phenomenal physique. You know, he's been to the Olympia as well. I get it. I guess it is pretty unfair to compare Lex Eubank with someone like Andre, but then again, guys, we're going based off the top guys in the industry right now. Just because Alex is ranked lower than Andre doesn't really mean anything. This ranking is all based on how well they would do on the bodybuilding stage, and basically based on how well they look. Now, one thing I really like about Andre's physique is basically his tricep fullness. Like, he's got such full aesthetic triceps, and his arms are just so thick and full. That's one thing I really like about his physique. Yeah, he's got crazy fullness. His upper body is insane. I feel like the one thing that lacks with Andre's physique is just kind of his legs. You know, his legs, I think Andre himself has even admitted in the past that his legs is definitely a weakness. But, you know, he does men's physiques. He doesn't really need legs, right? Obviously, in terms of bodybuilding potential, Andre has been to the Mr. Olympia before. I mean, look at this dude's physique. It's no surprise he's been to the Mr. Olympia before. And saying that Andre is definitely one of the top guys, I'm gonna have to definitely put him in the S tier for the rankings right now. You know, the top guy in the industry right now. Alright, next up, we've got David Lade, the OG of aesthetics. This guy has inspired so many people as well, just like this. He's very inspirational. Kind of grew up watching him when I was in high school, and he's got a phenomenal physique as well. So in saying that, let's go rank his physique. Now, David Lade is literally the king of symmetry. Like, in terms of proportions and symmetry, he's got it. No, yeah, David Lade's definitely got really nice midsection, nice tight midsection, nice full chest, wide shoulders, crazy fullness as well. Keep in mind, this guy's like 6'2", 6'3", and he has like fullness like that, which is insane. You know, obviously the taller you are, the less full you look. But David, he really has it all. He's got the looks, he's got the perfect symmetry, perfect proportions. In terms of bodybuilding, I feel like David would do pretty well. I feel like he'd probably be in between classic and men's physique, but I can definitely see him doing men's physique. I feel like he'd do pretty well in men's physique as well. Like, yeah, and saying that, I am going to have to, I mean, David's definitely in between S and A. I feel like he's not quite up there with Andre, even though he is fully enhanced right now, but he's definitely up there with Lex Eubank. So I'm gonna put David Lade in A for now. Next up, we've got Devin Bernardo. Now, the reason why I put this guy on the list is because of his freaky arms. I mean, this dude's got like really very freaky looking arms. He's got a great physique as well. And saying that, let's go check this dude out. Now, obviously, in terms of arms, I'd probably put, you know, Devin Bernardo in S tier. But his overall physique, there are a few body parts that are lacking. So one thing that kind of lacks with Devin is his chest isn't really there, in my personal opinion. I feel like his chest is kind of lacking a little, and he's quite narrow. Like, his delts aren't the best either. But I mean, overall, I think Devin Bernardo would do really, really well in terms of bodybuilding. Like, I can definitely see this dude winning a few shows in classic physique. Based on bodybuilding potential and how freaky his arms look, I'd say he'd do pretty well. The biggest thing that's lacking with his physique is probably, you know, he's kind of out of proportion. Like, I feel like his arms kind of overpower the rest of his body, which is why I won't put him at S tier for that. But I feel like he's definitely up there with Alex Eubank and David Lade, so I'm going to put him in A tier as well. Next up, we've got Hardy. This guy is shredded. He's a real nice, humble dude as well. I love his videos, you know, very motivational, very inspiring. He's a very kind dude as well, and he's Muslim, so shout out to him. Shout out to Hardy. You're making the Muslims proud. But with that being said, let's go check out his physique. Alright, straight off the bat, I have to admit that Hardy is very, very well conditioned. Like, his conditioning is definitely up there with Andre. Like, you know, he's got S tier conditioning. This guy is so dry and so diced up, it's insane. In terms of bodybuilding, I feel like he'd do pretty well. He's definitely would be a good top tier men's physique competitor from what I can see on the screen right now. I mean, he definitely would do pretty well in men's physique. So the one thing that really lacks in Hardy's physique is his legs. His shoulders are quite narrow and his waist is a bit blocky, which is probably like the areas that don't make him look as great. And because of that, I'm probably going to have to put Hardy in the B rank. Now, it's only because, you know, he lacks in areas more than others, which is why I've put him in B tier. Now, in terms of his aesthetics and conditioning, he's definitely up there with Alex Eubank and David Lade, and maybe even Andre. And that's just because, you know, his proportions and symmetry just aren't as good as David Lade's and Alex Eubank's. Alright, next up, we've got James English. Now, I love this dude's physique. He literally won, like, his pro card in his first ever show. Like, that just alone explains how amazing this dude's physique is. So with that being said, let's go rank his physique. I won't lie, right off the bat, this guy has got crazy proportions. You know, like, he's got the conditioning, he's got the size, he's got the symmetry, he's got the tight midsection, he's got it all. Like, I mean, even under natural lighting, this dude looks phenomenal. Most influencers, when they go under natural lighting, they look like a potato. A lot of guys don't look that great under natural lighting. A lot of fitness influencers don't look great under natural lighting, but James, on the other hand, looks crazy under natural lighting. Like, he looks insane. I mean, look at this physique. You know, that's definitely IFBB Pro material. So, in saying that, I believe that James definitely is up there with Andre. I feel like if those two were on stage together, I feel like James would definitely give Andre a good run for his money. So, in saying that, I'm going to put James and S tier up there with Andre. Next up, we've got Joe Steitz, the shredded father. This dude literally never goes above 5% body fat. His calves are insane. You know, this guy is sliced to the bone. Like, he is shredded to another level. Vascularity is out of this world as well. And saying that, let's go rank him and see where he ranks with the other influencers in the list right now. I mean, just check this dude out. Like, his body looks insane. You know, like, he's got the perfect biceps. You know, he's nice and wide as well. He's got the wide lats. He's hella shit. Like, I mean, under natural lighting too. I mean, look at that, guys. You know, looks amazing. Like, he still looks hella shit under natural lighting too, with no filters. A lot of people don't look as good under natural lighting. I mean, check out this vascularity as well. Like, that is insane. Like, one paper cut and this dude will probably pass away. His legs are insane as well. Like, he's got like them crazy ass deep cuts, real strong striations on his legs. I feel like if Alex hopped on the juice, he definitely would have this sort of level of conditioning that Joe has. Alright, so in terms of ranking, I'm definitely gonna put Joe up there in S tier as well, with the likes of James and Andre, just because, you know, his conditioning and his shreds are on another level, and on top of that, he's got great symmetry and proportions too. Now, I would actually put him on A based on bodybuilding potential. I feel like Joe wouldn't really do that well on the bodybuilding stage, only because, I don't know, I feel like his insertions aren't quite there. But, you know, I feel like he might, if he actually took competing serious, he probably could slide through with the pro card in men's physique. So I feel like because of that, I'm going to put him in S tier. Alright, next up, we've got Don Skywalker, the father of aesthetics. John is 6'4", chiseled jawline, Asian, shredded as fuck, and, you know, he looks phenomenal. So let's go rank his physique. Yeah, so with John's physique, like, he's got really good proportions, like everything's in proportion. There are no body parts that are like really overpowering other body parts. Like, his abs are symmetrical, his abs are nice and tight, he's got good fullness on his chest. In terms of aesthetics, he's 6'4" and he's got a pretty good looking face too, no homo. So yeah, overall he definitely does look insane. I mean, he is quite narrow, so I feel like he could probably add a little bit more width to his shoulders. That's one thing I noticed about his physique. I mean, he still looks insane. Now, in terms of bodyboarding potential, how well he would do on stage, I feel like John probably wouldn't do that well, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like he would maybe put up a decent fight, but I couldn't really ever see John getting his pro card. I just feel like in terms of aesthetics, he's definitely there, but in terms of bodyboarding, where it requires like crazy size, crazy conditioning, and a whole heap of other shit, I feel like he wouldn't really do as well. Now, I feel like since Hardy is in B tier and him and John Skywalker have kind of similar physiques, I'm gonna have to put John Skywalker in the B tier. Now, you guys aren't gonna like me for that. You guys probably say, nah, screw that, bro. John has to be either an A or S. Look, like I said, it's based on bodybuilding potential, and I'm basically comparing his physique to other dudes' physiques in the list right now as well. And I can tell you for a fact that John does not have a better physique than David Lade and Alex Eubank. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put him in B tier for that. Next up, we've got the father of quads, my boy Lex Little, the most genuine, the most humble, and the coolest dude, and the funniest dude on Instagram right now. You know, like, this dude is my favorite fitness influencer after James English. Like, he's a real genuine and humble dude. I really like Lex. I feel like he's probably one of the only real ones that we have in the industry right now, and he's natural as well. So comparing him to people like James, Andre, and John Skywalker and Devin, it would be pretty unfair. But then again, that's just the industry for you. So let's start ranking Lex Little's physique. One thing I have to admit about Lex is he's probably got the craziest V-taper in the industry right now. Like, this dude's V-taper is literally on another level. Like, he's got them crazy ass 3D capped out and a very, very tiny waist as well, which is crazy. Lex also has a really, really good back too. Like, he looks great from the front and he looks great from the back, no homo. So that's one thing I really like about his physique. He's definitely got that demon back. I mean, look at his legs as well, guys. Like, as a natural, to have legs like that, that is insane. Lex is really strong as well. This dude can squat almost like 250, 260 kilos, so that's pretty insane. His max bench is also 180, which as a natural is mind-blowing. I'm definitely gonna rank Lex in A tier. I feel like his physique is definitely up there with David Lade and Alex Eubanks. So I definitely have to put him in A tier for that. Alright, next up we've got Oliver Faucelin, who's currently getting ready for his Classic Physique show right now. Now, Oliver, I have to admit, he's got a very, very good physique. You know, I feel like he really resembles Arnold with his physique. He's got a very similar physique to Arnold, back when Arnold was younger. He's got very, very good fullness. I mean, at his age, he's literally a mass monster. Like, there are so little dudes who are 20 years old that are as big as Oliver. You know, I feel like most Classic Physique guys who are on the juice probably aren't as big as Oliver. So he's definitely got them freaky genetics. Most Europeans tend to have, you know, real freaky size, and Oliver's definitely one of them. His conditioning's definitely there. He's got the vascularity, he's got the fullness, he's got the looks. I mean, I feel like Oliver's got a very bright future for himself in bodyboarding. He could probably definitely get his pro card maybe this year or next year. In terms of aesthetics, he's definitely up there as well. I feel like Oliver's definitely in between S and A tier. I feel like he should be in this S tier. I mean, Oliver's, especially now, his physique is phenomenal, and I feel like he's definitely slightly above Alex Eubank and David Lade in terms of his aesthetics. In terms of bodybuilding potential, he's definitely up there as well in S tier. So I mean, it's a bit, this is probably quite a controversial decision, but I'm gonna put Oliver up in S tier only because I've been following Oliver for years and years, and I can tell you one thing: he's very hardworking, he's humble, he's got a great physique, great aesthetics, he's got it all. And based on potential, I feel like he's definitely up there in S tier. So yeah, moving on, we've got Tristan Lee. I won't lie, I am not the biggest fan of Tristan Lee's physique. Yes, he's really conditioned, yes, he's got hella vascularity, but I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, Tristan's chest is definitely not quite there. I mean, based on bodybuilding potential, he wouldn't really do that well as well, just because he doesn't have, I mean, he's got the conditioning and the symmetry, just doesn't quite have the right structure for bodybuilding, you know. I mean, he's still a freak of nature. I mean, Tristan Lee is still a genetic freak, he still has a very good physique, but I mean, I feel like if I I were to compare Tristan Lee with Alex Eubank and I had to pick whose physique I wanted, it would probably be Alex Eubank's physique. And I just feel like, in my personal opinion, that Tristan Lee is probably in the B tier with Hardy and John Skywalker. I wouldn't put him in A tier, just simply because I'm not the biggest fan, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with me on this one as well, that Tristan Lee is definitely not up there with, you know, the likes of Lex and Alex. So I'm gonna have to put Tristan Lee in B tier. And that is pretty much the tier list done, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys don't agree with me, that's totally cool. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but that is basically the tier list. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one.